and welcome back to Cooking with Claire. I don't know what the weather is for you guys, but the weather is cold and snowy. And for me, nothing makes you feel nice and warm more than a bowl of nice hot soup. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make cream of broccoli soup. And this recipe is super easy to make and it's super fast to make. And it's a good meal that you can make for your kids during the week. So let's get into it. So you first want to start out with half a stick of butter. And you want to melt that butter down in your pan. To this butter, you want to add 1 medium onion. And you want to cook these onions until they're translucent. Right before your onions are ready, you want to take 1 garlic clove like this, and you want to put that garlic clove in. So I have a garlic press, and I'm just going to squeeze in 1 garlic clove. You want to be careful during this process not to burn your garlic, because it'll leave your sauce tasting bitter. Okay, so our onions are nice and shiny, and now they're translucent now. So I'm going to go in and add a half a cup of flour. And you want to cook this flour for about 2 to 3 minutes to get that raw taste from the flour. And this is what's called making a roux. So when you see this flour clumping up like this, don't worry, because when you add in your liquid, the clumps are going to come out. So you want to cook this flour like this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright guys, so it's been about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk in 2 cups of milk. And during this process, you just want to keep stirring, because the more liquid you add, that flour is just going to soak it up. So just keep stirring, and it's going to all come together and become a nice smooth sauce. See how that's cooked down and now it's in solid form again? You're just going to add more milk. Now that's the last bit of my milk. Now I'm just going to stir that up until it becomes thick again. Alright, now that I've stirred all of those clumps out from the flour, and we're just left with the clumps of the, now we're just left with the onions, I'm going to add in 1 cup of cream. And this is heavy cream. That's the last bit of that cream. And we're going to whisk that in. Now that our cream is whisked in, I have 3 cups of chicken stock, and I'm going to pour that in as well. And while you're whisking, you want to make sure you're getting the corners of your whole pan, because if you're not whisking the whole pan, you're going to wind up with a clump of flour somewhere in one of these corners, and you don't want that inside of your soup. You want your soup to be nice and smooth. So I'm just going to add the rest of that chicken stock in. Now this is the base for our soup. And as you can see, it's pretty creamy. There's no lumps. And the only thing that you see in here are the onions. Now that we have the base of our soup, you want to go in with your broccoli. And I have about 4 cups of broccoli here. And this is just a bag of broccoli that I got from Walmart. And it comes in pieces like this. So what I've done was I just went ahead and cut them up into little bite-sized pieces like that. So I'm going to take that and put that inside of the soup. And the good thing about making your own soup, you can add as much broccoli as you want. Because you know, sometimes you go to these places and you get cream of broccoli soup or cream of crab soup. And it seems to be all cream and no broccoli or no crab meat. And you're upset to pay your money for this soup. So that's the good thing about making your own soup. So we're going to mix this in here like that. And I also have some grated carrots here. And I just went and got a bag of grated carrots from Walmart. So what I'm going to do is open this up. And add about 1 cup of shredded carrots. If you like more carrots, you can add more carrots. If you want more broccoli, you can add more broccoli. And that looks like it's a good consistency right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in a little salt. And I'm not going to add in a lot of salt because when we put our cheese in, that's going to bring that extra salt into the soup as well. So you want to go light with the salt in the beginning because you can put the salt in but you can't take it out. So be careful when you're adding your salt. I'm also going to add about a ½ teaspoon of cayenne pepper just for a little kick. And mix that up. As this soup cooks down, it's going to thicken up. If you see that the soup is getting too thick, you can go ahead and add some more chicken broth to it to loosen it back up, and just make sure you're mixing it well throughout the soup. So I'm going to cover this up and let it cook for about 20 minutes. Alright guys, so it's been about 20 minutes and our broccoli is now soft to the bite. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. So you don't want to add your cheese in right now because it's too hot. And if you add your cheese, it's just going to separate. So you want your soup to be a little bit cooler than this before adding the cheese in. So I'm going to turn my fire off and just let it sit. So if you notice, I didn't add a lot of seasonings to this. And when I'm making cream of broccoli soup, I don't like to go heavy on the seasonings because I like the taste of the broccoli and the carrot and everything just to pop, so you can really taste the freshness of the soup instead of having a lot of seasonings just overpowering the taste of your soup. And another thing is, you also don't want to overcook your broccoli because you know you get some people that cook this soup and the broccoli is not bright green anymore. It's just a dark color. So that comes from overcooking your soup. So what you want to do is just cook it up, and you want to cook it up until your broccoli is just tender. And that would keep that bright green color of your broccoli like this, and also the bright color of your carrots. You really want to be able to see what you're eating instead of everything losing its color and it just doesn't look pretty anymore. And as this soup cools down, it's going to also thicken up too because of the flour we put in. So if it looks a little watery, don't worry, because when it cools down, it will thicken up. And also when we put the cheese in, it's going to thicken it up too. So I'm going to let this sit and cool off. Okay guys, so it's been about 10 minutes and our soup has cooled down a lot, and it's thickened up. So I'm going to go in with about 1.5 cups of cheese. And I'm going to mix this in. At this point, you can go ahead and taste for flavor and see if you need more cheese or if you want to add more salt. I think I'm going to add a little bit more cheese to mine. And some salt. Because like I was telling you guys earlier, that cheese is going to add salt into your soup. So you really want to wait until after the cheese to start seasoning your soup with salt. So I'm going to taste it again. And that tastes pretty good. Alright guys, so I'm going to take some of this delicious soup and pour it inside of my bowl. And there you go guys. That's my cream of broccoli soup. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If so, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and put on your post notifications so you know when I upload new videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.